This is how I replaced my motor mount on the G35 2008 sedan. Same thing for G37 sedans. All-wheel drive for the X. So you can see I used 2 to 3 extensions and one adapter. I'm using a 3/8 ratchet with 2 3/8 extensions and a 3/8 to 1/2 to 1/4 conversion. So at the end of it, the socket I'm using is a 1/8. Yeah, I know it's complicated, but so this is on the driver's side. So the driver's side is harder than the passenger side. Honestly, the passenger side you don't have to do all this. So this is just explaining how to get the driver's side out. I'm only showing the driver's side part since the passenger is easier. As you can see right now, I'm just showing how it's actually loosening up. It's actually twisting. So there we go. That's the socket, and you can see the mount. So right above the mount, there's a bolt. You have to take off a size 14, like I said. 14 or 12. Most likely it is a 14. You can see slowly doing it. It's not to strip anything. Yeah. At the end of the video, I will show all the extensions I use, whatever. See, I have the car jacked up. So I put a jack stand and then I start using a jack to jack it up by the lower control arm. And this is how I took off the bolt. So you only have to take one bolt off the lower control arm. So forgot the size, probably like a 17. I used a few extensions on a 3/8 to remove this bolt right here. It's either 17, size 17, or 18, who knows. But yeah, you remove this in order to remove a nut from the motor mount, engine mount. But you can only remove it if you remove this part of the lower control arm. So you'll see right now as it's being loosened up. I have WD-40 on standby just to, remove the rust out these bolts that you've probably never removed. Well, in total, I probably took about an hour and a half doing this. There we go. The bolt is off, and now you want to free up, make some space. Probably put like a pry bar in there for like a socket or a flat wrench to fit in there. You're gonna need a socket though. It's easier with the socket, but you need space in order for a socket to fit in there. So now, as you can see, I'm just showing above the bolt from above that we removed earlier, and you can see now there's space for us to put actually you do need a socket to fit up there. So yeah, you need to free this up, and I have a long socket is probably better. Well, you'll see right now how I do it. So I still have the jack under the control arm to hold it. You're gonna have to use it again to jack it back up in order to put the bolt back to level it. And right here I'm just hitting it with the hammer, just showing that I think that's what I used. Instead of a pry bar, you probably use the hammer to whack it down. I don't have a pry bar, I need to buy a pry bar set. But anyways, this is what I used to remove the nut. I used the 3/8 extension and then the long socket, and it fits up there. It's an 18-17. Might show you, I might not, but I think I end up using this one. So yeah, it's just actually a half. So it's ended up being a half, I guess, that I used. Same thing though, whichever works for you. So I guess I'm showing here how I used this to get more leverage. So I stick the jack, the jack pole, and then I use this 1/2, and then I guess I finished it off with the 3/8 just to loosen it up faster with the ratchet. Cause my 1/2 isn't a ratchet; it's just a big, like a long 1/2. It's not really a ratchet though that I could, you know, ratchet back and forth, whatever. But here it is from above. I removed this, so the whole thing comes off. I don't know if mine is just like this. I don't really know, but what you're able to do is on the new one just remove it from the top, which I think they're all like this if the new one does it. So just remove the old one and then the new one and then put the old one there. It's whatever. Well, actually, the new one doesn't come with the nut, which makes me think that the nut is supposed to come off, but mine didn't come off. It's like stuck on there, so I don't really know. But it might be like that. Who knows? But anyways, you're able to put it onto the new one, so it doesn't really matter. So you see, this is how I remove it. You want to jack up the engine, and the way I did it is I put the jack stand on the brick, the jack on the brick, and I jacked it up from the oil pan. I don't know if that's bad, but it's the way I did it, and it worked. So there's no oil pan damage. So this was like 2 months ago, and before that I already had an oil leak. But I doubt this caused any more damage for an oil leak. But anyways, once you jack it up, you're able to like wobble it out. You see, just move it around till it's free, and you could jack it up a little bit more, but I just didn't want to keep jacking it and risking something happening. And I knew I already had enough space, so just wobble it out. Comes out, Here we go. You want to put the cover onto the new one. So yeah, I already put the cover. You see the dust cover. Now I'm about to show you all the extensions I used in order to remove it from the top on the driver's side. This is really only for the driver's side. I know I'm only showing driver's side because it's the same thing on the passenger, but easier from the top. You have more space. On driver you don't, and I had to use it. 2 1/8 extensions, 14mm 1/8 socket. But I used the 3/8 ratchet with 2 3/8 extensions, and in the middle 3/8 to 1/8 conversion. So you can see. So first thing, the way I did it is I stick the 14mm socket with the 2 extensions first, which are 1/8 in size. So you want to make sure you put the socket in first onto the bolt and lighten it up. It's gonna stay stiff, and then grab your 3/8 to 1/8 conversion with your extensions, and from the top you wanna stick it onto your other extensions. I only used one extension actually for 3/8, but it don't matter. But stick it on there. Just trying to line them up. Tap it with the hammer. Gently tap it till it's on. Put your ratchet in. Just ratchet, and it should come out loose.